Hello everyone and welcome back to the Perfect French with Dylan. Today we are going to learn everything about the futur simple. It's very easy, it's the equivalent of your will in English. So we don't have will for us, but we have a specific conjugation. So we have a stem and then we have endings. We use the futur simple the exact same way as in English to talk about future plans and intentions. So we have a very specific stem for the futur simple. Very different than everything we saw before, but it's easy, don't worry, it's easy. But we are also going to use the same stem to build the conditionnel, the conditional. So this is where it gets interesting and easy. We are going to see the conditionnel présent not tomorrow, but the day after tomorrow. In 2 days, in 2 lessons, we are going to see the exact same lesson as today, but in the conditionnel. We are going to see the same verbs and everything the same way, just to make sure that you remember that all the stems are the same. And maybe if you don't pick a stem today, well, maybe you're going to pick it up in 2 days. Like I said, it's very easy. It's not as easy as in English. I mean, nothing can beat the fact that you just have to add will in front of the verb. Nothing can beat that, but it's really not hard. So first we are going to look at verbs ending in er and er, the verb of the first group and the verbs of the second group, and more. So for those verbs, the stem is going to be the infinitive verb followed by the endings. That's it. That's as simple as that. So if we take ranger, ranger to tidy, obviously we know the pronoun subject. Then if we add the stem, which is the infinitive of the verb, ranger, then we just need to add the endings, and the endings are AI, AS, A, ONS, EZ, ONT, ONT. So of course now the pronunciation changed. We don't have ranger anymore. We have rangerai, je rangerai. And usually in the futur simple, depending what type of accent, but usually we are not going to say the E. So we are going to say je rangerai, rangerai. Okay, we don't say je rangerai. But once again, it's possible. It really depends on the accent. Tu rangeras, il rangera, elle rangera, on rangera, nous rangerons, vous rangerez, ils rangeront, elles rangeront. So here we have another problem of pronunciation for this one, is that some people will pronounce je rangerai as je rangerai, which is very hard because then it's the pronunciation of the conditionnel. We are going to see that in 2 days. The correct pronunciation, the pronunciation from the IPA, there is no really correct pronunciation, there's just different pronunciation. The pronunciation from the IPA, from the International Phonetic Alphabet, is supposed to be E. Personally, I grew up in an area where we always pronounce AI at the end as E. I don't say that we do it right, that's not what I say. I say just that we say it like that. So we say je rangerai, but a lot of people are also going to say je rangerai. So if I was you, I would use rangerai because it's just easier than to know if you're talking about the futur simple or the conditionnel. But once again, we're going to see that in 2 days. The AI and EZ have the same pronunciation, they are pronounced E. Then we have AS and A, same pronunciation, pronounced A. And then ONS and ONT, same pronunciation, pronounced on. Trying to make it a little bit easier for you. And the translation is I will tidy, you will tidy, he will tidy, etc. So far it's not too bad, isn't it? Now the verbs with spelling changes, the one that ends in er. We have a few types of different spelling changes, especially for verbs ending in er. I don't know if you remember all the one we saw when we studied the present tense. Well, we are going to come back on them. A lot of them are not going to change. So a lot of them are just going to keep the same stem as the infinitive verb. Some of them are going to change. The ones that are not going to change are the one ending in CER with lancer, je lancerai, GER, je mangerai. Then we have céder, je céderai, espérer, j'espérerai, répéter, je répéterai, célébrer, je célébrerai. Now the one that change is the one with YER. So nettoyer will become je nettoierai, because we don't say je nettoyerai, we don't have the rolling E. So je nettoierai, essayer, j'essayerai, essuyer, j'essuierai. Okay, all of them change the Y into a E. Now appeler, to call, we are also going to change this one to the 2L. But the good news is that no matter what is the change about the verbs that don't follow the regular rules, the irregular verbs, that's what I was looking for, no matter the change, they're all going to stay the same. Do you remember in the present tense all the nous and vous different, so many rules? Well, here they're all the same. So you just have to remember one stem. Okay, so that's not too bad. So appeler, we are going to have the pronunciation j'appelle, L, so the E, followed by the 2L, so the E is pronounced as a E, we don't have an accent. So we have j'appellerai, tu appelleras, il, elle, on appellera, nous appellerons, vous appellerez, ils appelleront, elles appelleront. We have the exact same thing for jeter, je jetterai, je jetterai. The last one for ER, do you remember we had a lot that had a E in the stem and turn into E? Well, all of those are going to turn the stem into E, such as geler, je gèlerai, amener, j'amènerai, peser, je pèserai, acheter, j'achèterai, achever, j'achèverai. Okay? So the one without the accent are going to take an accent, and the one with the accent are not going to change. So the one we saw before, do you remember? Céder, so with an accent, they don't change. Without accent, they're going to change. You get one. Everybody wants an accent. When you're good, you can do the exercise 6.1. It's really hot today, and if my rosacea is picking up, if I look really red, I'm really sorry for that. Now the verbs ending in ER. The one ending in ER are also very easy to use because we also keep the stem from the infinitive. So if we look at accomplir, we have j'accomplirai, tu accompliras. Il, elle, on accomplira, nous accomplirons, vous accomplirez, ils, elles accompliront. Easy peasy. And we have the same for the other ones. We have ouvrir, to open, j'ouvrirai, offrir, j'offrirai. But we have a very different one. I should have put it at the bottom of the list in the book. So you have more examples in the book, of course, is accueillir. Accueillir is going to be conjugated with a E. So the stem changes a little bit. We are going to go from accueillir with a E to accueillerai. So here the E changes into a E, but it's very specific to cueillir, accueillir, this kind of verb. Honestly, it's probably just for pronunciation because j'accueillerai, it's, I don't know. It's not as easy to say for me, I don't know. Probably. When you're good, you can do the exercise 6.2. Another easy one are the verbs ending in RE. And all the verbs ending in RE, because we have a lot of verbs ending in RE. How many times can I say RE? So when we have a verb ending in RE, we are simply going to remove the E. Because we can't really put the E and then have the stem after. It just doesn't make sense. Why would we do that? So if we look at pendre, to hang, pendre, we are going to remove the E, so the stem is going to be P-E-N-D-R. Then we add the endings, and we have je pendrai, tu pendras, il, elle, on pendra, nous pendrons, vous pendrez, ils pendront, elles pendront. So you see, even though we have some spelling changes and everything, we keep the exact same one for all the forms. And this is great. All the other verbs ending in RE, I told you, follow the same rule. So we have prendre, je prendrai. Craindre, je craindrai. Éteindre, j'éteindrai. Joindre, je joindrai. Battre, je battrai. So really, we have a few rules to follow, but it's actually not too bad. When you're good, you can do the exercise 6.3. Of course, you have more in the book. We do have quite a few of irregular ones, of course. I'm going to give you the most common one. You have the whole list in the book. Once again, those irregulars are going to stay the exact same for the conditionnel. So study them once, know them for both. This is very important. All of them are going to be exactly the same. Exactly. I would never stress that enough. Exactly the same. Alright, so we have aller, j'irai. I told you the stem is going to stay the same everywhere, so IR is going to stay the same for all forms. So I only give you one, they're the same for all forms. Avoir, j'aurai. Être, je serai. Savoir, je saurai. Venir, je viendrai. So of course we have the same for intervenir, survenir, etc. You of course have a long list on the book. Exercise 6.4. So like I said at the beginning, the futur simple is used the exact same way as in English. We do have one that is very different, but for the most part we use it the same way. So we use the futur simple to talk about something that's going to happen in the future. So a few words that we always use with the futur simple, we have bientôt, soon, ce soir, tonight, demain, tomorrow, un jour, one day. So basically anything that's going to refer to the future. Nous serons bientôt là. Nous serons bientôt là. We will be there soon. So this is the verb être conjugated in the futur simple. Un jour, je visiterai l'Australie. Un jour, je visiterai l'Australie. One day I will visit Australia. Personally, this is one of my dreams. And when you're done, you can do the exercise 6.5. I know that the lesson lately have been very packed with information. If you need to take a break, you can totally do it. I mean, the lessons are going to be here forever on YouTube, or as long as YouTube exists. So if you need to take a break, please do, and just keep catching up whenever you have time, whenever you feel like it. We also use the futur simple to make suppositions about the future. Je pense qu'il arrivera en retard. Je pense qu'il arrivera en retard. I think he will arrive late. So this is the verb arriver. Exercise 6.6. I told you that one of the use is very different than in English. And I'm pretty sure I make this mistake in English when I basically translate kind of word by word. So thanks God sometimes when you say will in English you can't really hear it because I'm pretty sure I make this mistake a lot. So we use the futur simple after a conjunction of time. When English uses the present tense in a subordinate clause following a conjunction of time, we use the futur simple. I couldn't find a word. Subordinate clause, conjunction of time. It's all big word of grammar. Let's see. If you don't know the grammar terms, it's not an issue. You can totally understand without it. Let's see. So, some of the reference of time, the conjunction of time, are quand, when, lorsque or lorsque apostrophe. It's also when. It's just a synonym. Dès que or Q apostrophe. As soon as. Or après que or Q apostrophe. After. You will see, it's very easy, don't worry. For example, appelle-moi quand tu recevras l'invitation. Appelle-moi quand tu recevras l'invitation. Call me when you get the invitation. So this is the verb recevoir. So call me when is the conjunction of time. You get the invitation is the subordinate clause. Appelle-moi quand tu recevras l'invitation. Recevra is in the futur simple, when you will get the invitation. So this is the major difference between English and French. Another one, vois avec elle dès qu'elle sera de retour. Vois avec elle dès qu'elle sera de retour. See that with her when she's back. Once again, in French, we'll say when she will be back. When you say when she is back. So this is obviously the verb être. When you are good, you can do the exercises 6.7, 6.8. Tomorrow we have a much easier lesson. We are going to see the futur proche. This one is going to be very, very easy, and then we are going to see the conditionnel, like I said. So I will see you tomorrow. À demain.